This is Bye Bye Money, and today is November 30th, 2020. And welcome to my live trading journal with live commentary, making $500 a day, solely scalping the ES, only using one setup, the two-legged pullback. I'm trading 5 ES contracts per trade, which is $250 per 1 point scalp. So with just 2 scalps a day, you can make $500 a day. The two-legged pullback is a pure price action strategy. It is a pattern that looks like this: A, B, C. I like to call it the ABC pattern. First pullback, first entry, second pullback, and we like to enter in the second entry right here. So we look for two-legged pullbacks. And also on the other side, this goes by many names: ABC pattern, also second entries, also two-legged pullbacks. So we like to enter the two-legged pullback at key areas such as support, resistance, trend lines, channels, moving averages. And so we like to look for this setup throughout the chart. On my chart, I have a couple indicators. I have 3 indicators. I have the 20 EMA, I have the 240 SMA, the dashed line here, and also have this custom indicator that counts legs, identifies two-legged pullbacks, and also traps. The magenta boxes are traps, and dark red, dark green numbers are two-legged pullbacks. And so yes, just realized that was a pretty nice two-legged pullback right here, down to the 240 SMA. But anyways, so we like to find the two-legged pullback on the key areas, as mentioned. I like to use essentially 4 time frames. My main time frame right now I've been using is a 10,946, which I refer to as a 10K. I use the 10,946 because it's a Fibonacci number. Also use a 2584. I refer to as a 2K chart, but this is also a Fibonacci number, and also use a 610 chart, a 610 tick chart, also a Fibonacci number. I use a 610 when it's very slow, and there's not enough room to scalp on the other higher time frames. I like to switch to 610 to see if I can find some scalps. I also like to use a 610 on the extended trading hours sessions. So also use the 5-minute because Al Brooks uses the 5-minute, and I like to mimic the best. And so you also get to be able to see the price action of price and time, and also the price action when you have confluence with the tick chart, which is the price action, shows the price action of price and volume. When you have confluence between the two, typically you have some pretty good setups there. So I like to use that to my advantage. And so I like to have the different tick frames and higher tick frames to be able to identify. They all help. They all speak to each other. And so I like to have all these tick frames. But this is all only one instrument, the ES futures, the minis. So yeah, so in the also in this video, check in the description. I have a time index, so you can just go through there if you want to. And if you'd like to know more about this strategy, in the description I'll have links to the beginner and intermediate playlist. But yeah, also just quick news on the indicator. I've been working on it, and I'm thinking released second week of December. Kind of busy until then, and so I'm working with NinjaTrader to license, and yeah, and getting a website up for you guys, and hopefully be able to create some good instructions on how to use it. And so I will get that to you guys hopefully by the second week of December. No promises, but that's kind of what I'm aiming for. So well, hope you stick around. Also, yeah, I already finished the day today. You can see uh, my final gross, but all my commentary is live, and so you can follow along and hear my thinking process behind every trade. So enjoy. Two-legged pullback, A, B, C, A, B, C. Come to Papa. Key area right here. 610 chart. This pivot low. This pivot low. And we're getting right there, approaching it now. Not close enough. Terrible signal bar. Needs to get a little closer here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 240 SMA on the 5-minute, acting as support. Good signal bar here, but missed the key area, missing it by 2 points almost. Not close enough for me. 240 SMA hit perfectly on the 2K chart. Made a scalp for those scalpers. Tempting, but not anymore for sure. Not strong enough, not a strong enough bar to reverse this super strong bear trend. It can make a point, but it might not make a point. Strong bear bar could be exhaustion down to the bottom of the range here. I'll be interested maybe with a good signal bar on the reversal here. Okay, there's actually enough room to make a point here. Alright, close enough for me. Good signal bar. We are looking to go long here. Missed it by less than a point. Close enough for me. Still a terrible signal bar here. Look at the scalpel point here. A, B, C. Hitting the bottom. One, this pivot, approaching the key area. priming up my order. Will this explode once it hits it? I want to get a small retracement here. Went up 2 ticks immediately. I want a small retracement here. Okay, I'm filled. I'm in this trade. Good signal bar. Let's let it ride.
Target filled.
Alright, filled right there. At a good position, good spot. This bar is too bearish to take this reversal, in my opinion, even on a good signal bar. It is actually on this previous support, but the bar is too bearish to go long here. We have an ABC pattern here. We do have an ABC pattern, A, B, C, and this will be a two-legged pullback at a previous tested support right here, confirmed by that. But in my mind, this bar is way too bearish to go long against. What I'm thinking are, especially at the 5-minute, bears are waiting with limit orders 1 tick above, 2 ticks above, a point above. They are waiting to short this even more, especially after a breakdown. So if it does go 1 tick above, I am suspecting a trap here actually. I am suspecting a trap waiting down here because of the recent breakdown of this trading range. You have a recent breakdown right here, strong breakdown, and strong bear bar ending near its low. So far it has gone up 3 ticks. It needs to go up 5 ticks, so on the 25s it will make a point. I'm waiting for a trap here. So it's a two-legged pullback, A, B, C, and there are bulls here waiting to come in, but we are in a strong breakdown here, strong bear bar. Well, it made its scalper's profit. It just tagged it. I don't know if you're filled or not, but you can almost treat this like a trap, because I am sure, high degree of certainty, that not everyone got filled. All those who came in long here are not filled yet at one point. And you can see the reaction. It snapped up, snapped back down. I couldn't even see it with my eyes. And it made exactly a point, and now reversing. And I could almost treat this like a trap still, because I know their trader's still in here. Even though it did fail to make the point, I believe that their trader's still stuck in here, and I would be willing to take a trap trade here if it comes down to it. So the bulls are saying, I'll stay in my trade, I'll just get filled in later. It went exactly 5 ticks, exactly a scalper's profit, ready to reverse here. And I think, so we know that there are weak bulls here because of how strong the move was right after 5 ticks. And so even though this is not a two-legged pullback, I'm going to treat this like a trap after a two-legged pullback. You can see that it's not magenta. It was magenta and changed to this pink color because it touched the scalper's profit. But just in a trading sense, I know that this can still be treated as a trap, because I know not everyone got filled right here. And I know that there are bulls still in here waiting to get filled. And when it starts to reverse, they're going to be disappointed and wonder, why didn't they just put their stop at break even, or even at +1 tick after it touched their target but didn't get filled. So how do I know this? Because I've been in this situation before, and so I know the feeling. And you're wondering, I should just got out. I should just come out break even. I should get filled. I want to get filled. This is what you're thinking right now. If you're here, if you're a bull here, like, I'm fine. I can still get filled. I'm waiting here. But I will be waiting on the other side of this to trap some of these bulls who are stuck here, because of how fast that snapped up and snapped back down. I know that there are trapped bulls here. Plus it hasn't gone back up. Ask is 26, the bid is ask. Hasn't moved. I'm pretty certain this is a trap here. It went up exactly 5 ticks and reversed. I would treat this like a trap here. I know it's not magenta, it's a pink diamond, but still treating this like a trap because of it just touching the 5 tick mark, the scalper's profit, and reversing immediately after that. I know that there are bulls here that were not filled, so we can treat this like a trap. Strong rare bar. Seeing that there are weak bulls here. I know there are weak bulls here because the bulls came out right at 5 ticks, so that means the bulls are just scalping. Okay, 5 minute. Showing some indecision here. We've gone about 3 ticks in about 4 minutes. Bulls are wondering what are happening. They're disappointed now. They're wondering, can we still come out at least break even? Bulls coming out. Three tick range on this candle in 5 minutes. 3 tick range, might be 4 ticks here. Okay, I'm gonna treat this like a trap here.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Skunking this. If it comes back, I'm at 75 now. Wait, it made the target? Yeah. Hit the target, but didn't fill me. Put my stop here. Still hasn't filled me. It might skunk. Fill me up. Fill me. Fill me. Why do I feel like... Why do I feel like I can make more off here? Alright, I put my stop order. Go for 4 points here. Actually, how many points? 3 points. I'll come out at 1 point. Come out at 1 point. Guaranteed 1 point. Let's see if we can make this 4 points. Nothing to lose here. Have my stop at 1 point. Creating a tail now. Most likely will get stopped out, but no risk trade for me.
Stop filled.
Looking for a two-legged pullback. A, B, C. Bottom of this trend line plus 240 SMA confluence. Trend line is created by this pivot and this pivot. The 5 minute also hit the 20 EMA. Need a good signal bar here. .240 SMA, trend line confluence. 5 minute 20 EMA support. Looking to make a trade off the 2K chart, off this two-legged pullback. This trend line is created by this pivot, trend line here. Okay, hit the trend line. Will it find support here? We need a good signal bar now. Need a good signal bar. Hit the key area. Looking for a good signal bar. ABC pattern right on the 240 SMA with confluence with this trend line. Looking for a good signal bar for entry. $1,000 ticks remaining here.
Order submitted.
Priming up my order. It could shoot up fast here. 700 more ticks. $410, 300 more ticks. Wait for it. Wait for the bar to finish.
Order filled.
I'm in this trade. Excellent signal bar in key area. Thinking greater than 90% chance to make a point here. Target hit. Not yet filled. Still trying to get filled here.
Target filled.
Greater than 90% chance. Scalp right there. Being very patient. Alright, wrapping up here. Up around 750 today. During the regular trading hours, actually was able to only make one trade that I felt very comfortable with. And I missed a couple of trades just because I was busy, but the one trade that I actually was able to see and enter. And I took two trades over the night session. So I'm just going to recap my trades. My first trade happened yesterday at around right here. Made a trade on the 610 chart, and the price action made a two-legged pullback, A, B, C. With a good signal bar right here, and that's on the 610 chart. That was created from this pivot and this pivot, this trend line, and so took that trade last night. Scalped the point. That was my first trade. My second trade happened over the night session around 11 o'clock, 11:30, and there was a trap here. Well, pseudo trap. A, B, C, and it actually made the scalper's profit, but when you're watching it, it just spiked up and spiked back down. And so I knew that there were traders still trapped here. I knew not everyone was filled. And so I took the opposite trade here and I went short right here with a trap. Even though it's a, there's no magenta box around this because it actually made a scalper's profit. But I still treated it as a trap because I knew that people were still trapped in here. Just because how fast it spiked up and spiked back down, I knew that people were not out of their position yet. And then when it reversed, I knew reversed sharply. Because of this strong bear bar, breaking this range here, broke this range and had a breakout. And typically after breakouts is when you find traps. So it's a breakdown here, strong bear bar, and you expect bears to be waiting for a small pullback to enter short again. And they enter short, basically exactly where scalpers would take their profits out, and that's 5 ticks. So you had bears waiting right there on the 5-minute. And my last trade for today, I actually took it during the regular trading hours, and it was off the 240 SMA, and also at the time we had this trend line here, this trend line from this pivot, and it got to it and it made an excellent signal bar, confluence with the 240 SMA, and it made a beautiful two-legged pullback, A, B, C, and that was on the 2K chart. And so it reversed and made a point easy. To me, that was probably one of the best trades of the day. That trade, and I wanted to go in this trade, but I didn't like this range, how it's ranging right here. I wanted to go short because how this bar ended, the signal bar, but still didn't like this. And it was very close to where I wanted to get to and didn't quite hit it, so I just didn't feel 100% comfortable that I would trap out. One more push up, but it ended up, going downwards. There was one good trade that I missed, and that was on the 5-minute, and I was distracted, but to me this was one of the best, very good setup. It would happen around 1340, so 140 EST, and A, B, C. ABC pattern here to like a pullback 20 EMA, doesn't even break underneath it, and makes a beautiful signal bar right here. I didn't take that trade, but if I was paying attention, I would have taken this trade 100%. And that scalped out pretty easily. Yep, so that's it for today. Up 750, not too sad about that, but yeah, my goal is to make 500 a day, and so 750, I'll take that. And yeah, I'll get that indicator out. I'm still working with NinjaTrader to get licensing done and getting a website up for you guys. So on the website, I'll try to have like tutorials and things like that on how to use it, and also distribution off the website. So yeah, just a little bit longer. I'm thinking probably second week of December I'll have it released. But yeah, no promises. Just will get released when I have time. I have multiple things I do other than trading, and so yeah, I hope this has been helpful. And as always, happy trading and God bless.